So here we have a new arrival. So let's have a look what's inside this big heavy case. Okay, very well packing. These are brown and rubbery PH2s and labeled as Ionoc. So, but these are the original IonoFanes. So here you can see these are the IonoFanes, which are license builds of the Ionovac. This is the British version. So in this case they are labeled as Ionoc. I think it was an import, a German import from the UK. And this is the power supply, which is here separate in a separate case. And if we compare it to the original Ionovac, which I have here, you can see that these builds are totally identical. So this is the American version, Ionovac from Duquesne, and this is the British version, which is the IonoFane. So this is the British license build of the Ionovac. So they are absolutely the same case dimensions, and also electrically the same, and as you can see the horn is also the same. Yeah, and also these guys as usual are defect. We have to rebuild them. So the difference between the American version and the British version is that you have here an auto transformer for the main power supply, because in the UK we have 220 volt main, and for the American version this is 120 volt main supply. Also there is a built-in potentiometer for the level, the audio level. This underneath here is the little audio transformer. This is the power supply, and there are also built in the same values for resistors. This is a 220k ohm resistor. This is the 33k ohm resistor. This is the 100 ohm resistor, and this is the diode. So we don't need the voltage doubler here, because this is for 220 voltage and this is the 110 volt version. So they are absolutely the same, except for the power supply. So I opened the case already, and it looks similar to the Ionovac, and it's the same thing for the plasma cell. Here we have the same coil, The tube is in the middle. In the Ionovac it's more on the side. And if we look underside, here we see the coils, the HF coils. These are the two coils for the heating. This is grid 2 and these two are the anode coils. And if we see here, so here we see it's red wound and this is green wound, green wire. This is the cathode resistor, and underneath the cathode resistor there is the grid resistor. These are the filter caps, and here we have the anode cap. So there are also caps through the case here, also like the Ionovac. And we have seen on the back side it's labeled as Technac, but if we have a look on the horn, there you can see clearly here it's an IonoFane. So it's a British tweeter. So, and this is the same procedure as on the others. It will be fully dismantled, cleaned, all the things. Yeah, here we can see a light damage on the ceramic inside here. And we can take out the plasma cell here. So this is the counter electrode. Yeah, here we have the plasma cell. Looks not so bad. So if we clean this, we can reuse this cell and have a look on the electrode. So I think I need something to put it out. Here it is. Yeah, this electrode has no tip anymore. It's worn, but I think it's okay for the time. For comparison, here are the new ones, and this is the old one. So now the work begins. Here is the little damage on the ceramic, but I think we can use it. I think it will be not a problem. Yeah, this is the licensed copy of the Ionovac. Yeah. So, and if we put in an original tube, there you can see we have clearly more space between the shielding and the tube. On this anodes are over 300 volts, and if there is a short to the cage, that's not so good. I opened up the tweeter a little bit further, so opened this shielding here. You can see how it's connected there, and what you can see also here is it's really bent, the front, and we have to dismantle all this and have to make it new, I think, or make the bend out of this case. Here we have it. So this is the interior of the tweeter. These are the RF chokes. or coils, and this is the coil which transformates the high energy to our plasma cell, and all this has to be cleaned and bent in the right way so that it look normal again. So here we can unscrew the horn. So the fan noise in the background is my soldering station. Apologize for that. So here you can see it's all bent, and yes, all this have to be cleaned. Now all the tweeters are disassembled, cleaned, and I have looked for defect parts, and it always works. Look about these through capacitors, which are through the case. So here I have the capacitors of the other tweeter, and as you can see, it's broken. So this capacitor is broken, and I think there is a second one. This is a good one. Aha, yes, here is a second one, and you can see here is also broken. The next thing, there is the audio potentiometer, and it's also broken. You can turn it around. There is something broken here from the rotor. Yes, and as usual, this is the internal power supply block with capacitors and the old resistors and so on, and I have made a new PCB for the Ionoc here, and it looks like this, and it is the capacitors on the other side, and it is direct replacement. So we have the power supply case original, and there is I have built in new speaker plugs here, and on the other side I have built in my connector for the tweeter, so that the tweeter is no longer directly connected to the power supply, though it's easier to handle. And this goes here, and the new PCB is a direct replacement, so we can put this in here like this, and the wires will be directly connected here as the old wires. So it looks a little bit nicer, and it's reliable, and we have new capacitors on the other side. So the next thing is to build up the components and put in new cells and electrodes, and if I am finished with this, I come back to you. Now let's have a look I think they're finally starting. Yes, here we are. There is the flame. And there is also a second one. Let's have a look on the other side. Took a while. Yeah, and now it's starting. Very fine. So, new life of the tweeters. So, now we have two working units, IonoFane tweeters, and the owner will be very happy to get them now. We have the modified power supplies with a connector for the tweeters. Hope you enjoyed the video. This was the IonoFane episode. As you could see, it's the same as the Ionoc, and the only difference is in the power supply. It's a European power supply because these tweeters came from the UK. Okay, so that's for now, and see you in the next video. Bye.